Kristin Hannah is always a great choice for a book club read, but her latest novel, The Women, is an especially good choice. Let me give you 5 good reasons why. World War II has had its day for lovers of historical fiction. I know I have read many books about World War II. In fact, my last video was about a book that took place during World War II. But how many of us, and particularly our book clubs, have read books about what maybe is the most misunderstood war in our nation's history, and that is the Vietnam War? I know a lot of people say that they don't really want to think about the Vietnam War, or they don't want to remember it. Maybe it's too recent, or maybe it's just simply just too painful. The memories are too bad. But think about this. Our Vietnam War veterans are now in their senior adult years. I think the average age is about 71. And we owe it to them to have meaningful dialogue about the things that they went through, the atrocities they experienced, and the sacrifices they made for our country. I was born in 1969, and until I read this book, the Vietnam War to me was simply stuff that I read in history books when I was in high school, most of the time with my eyes glazed over. But Kristin Hannah brought this war to life in my living room. And not just the war, but the events that surrounded the war. For example, what our soldiers, what our military experienced when they came home. I mean, I knew that we treated them badly, but when you read about these things through the eyes of the main character, Frankie, it puts it in a whole new light. You know, how they came home and people spat upon them and called them baby killers, and our nation just turned our backs on them. So yes, I think we do owe it to the veterans of that war to remember while they're still here with us. Secondly, Hannah gives face to those struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. The United States is facing a mental health crisis right now, and about 6% of our population struggles or suffers from PTSD. Well, of course, that's just a statistic, but read about someone who is actually experiencing it, and then it becomes more than a statistic. It becomes a face, and not just the face of a fictional character, but the face of someone you know, the face of someone I know. Sure does make me want to be a whole lot more compassionate. And third, Hannah opens our eyes to the role that women have played in the history of our military. And admittedly, that's a small part of history, and thankfully, things have changed some since then. But she shows us the sacrifice that many women made when they chose to go to Vietnam. History tells us that about 11,000 women served in Vietnam, the vast majority of them serving as nurses. And yes, I knew that women went to serve as nurses. I had no idea about what they endured. And if your book club is made up of women, or if you have women in your book club, this is definitely a book you want to read. It reminds you of exactly what we are capable of. Fourth, Hannah shows us a picture of true friendship. The kind of friend that says, "Nah, you're not going into this alone. We're in this together." The kind of friend that at the drop of a hat, in a moment, would drop everything and drive across the country because she is needed. And not just one time, but multiple times. And these are the kinds of friends that, you know, the bond is thicker than blood. And I don't know, maybe these are the kinds of friendships that are born out of tragedy. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. And fifth, it's a book about finding purpose, about finding meaning in life, about wanting your life to mean something, about what it means to be human. It's a book about how we can be broken, but it's also a book about hope and how we can rise up from the ashes to find new purpose and new strength and new meaning. The main character in this novel, Frankie, is only 17 when the story begins. She is naive, she is innocent, and we have the opportunity to watch her grow into womanhood. And we see how her choices profoundly impact the woman that she becomes. All of these things make this book, wonderful for discussion. Great material there to enrich our conversations. And if these 5 reasons aren't enough, I'll give you a bonus one, a 6th one. It is a real page turner. At first glance, this book looks to be kind of long, but you don't really realize it because you just can't put it down. You just keep reading, and it doesn't take long at all. Have you already read this book? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. I post a video every Sunday about what I have read that week. And I'm also right now doing another challenge. It's a cookbook challenge where I'm giving away my cookbooks to a viewer who is interested in receiving one of them. I welcome you on my journey of finding great books and sharing them. I'd love to hear what some of your favorite books are as well. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you have watched this video all the way to the end, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week and happy reading.